Presentation, two main parts. And the first part will be the website, looking at the trail map products that we have on the website. And then I'll switch to the app and run through some of the features on the app page for the website. And what you'll need to do when you if you want to see all the map products, you'll need to log into your Voyager Trail account. So up in the top right corner here, you see member login. Click on that and enter your login credentials. And you're in. When you're in, you'll know you're in because it'll now say log out up in the where it said member login before. And you can go to the maps by going under trails and the drop down and pick trail maps. First thing you'll see on the trail maps section is the overview map. Even if you're not logged in, you'll be able to see this. Everyone has access to this, and you can zoom in to a certain point, just as far as that. Um, And this is not intended to be used for hiking. It's strictly to give you an overview of the trails in a particular area. And you can click on the menu on the right side, click on any one of those trails, and it'll take you to that trail and give you a little bit of a summary of what it is, how long it is, the conditions you might be um, expecting and so on. Um, Scrolling down below that, this is where you have all of the member-only products that you'll have access to. So we've got downloadable PDF maps for all of our trails, and there are anywhere from 2 to 5 of those maps for any given trail section. And you can download those and print them to an 8.5 by 11 sheet if you wanted to have a paper copy of the map. And then the web links are the next section. And each one of our trail sections has a web map, and I'll open one of those here in a moment. Below that are the GPX files. So if you have a GPS unit, you can download the GPX files and upload them to your GPS device, like a Garmin or a Magellan, whatever you might be using, and you'll have the trail track that way. And at the very bottom are some important items here. There's this first document is the instructions and the access code that allow you to get into the app. If you should have received a no, I guess that's changed. You used to get an email or a link to the access to open this file when your membership was renewed in April, but now I believe things are changing, and the what you'll get is just a reminder to go to this page that you're looking at and download it from here. There's a guide to using the app that you can go through, much of which we'll go through here tonight. And the final thing is the video. This is last year's presentation that's up here in a video form if you ever wanted to go back and look at that. And as I say, I'll be putting up a new version of this after tonight's presentation. So I'm going to just jump to one of these web maps. So if you click on the web map, it'll come up that particular section. This is the Cascade, and the opening shows, you can see almost the whole thing on one screen, and you're able to zoom in at that point. There's a menu here on the right that shows you the various trail sections, and you can click on one of those and it'll take you right to that section. And then there'll be a description down below, information about how it's marked, and and parking information, other just general information about that you might want to use for, if you're going to hike this trail. You can also click on one of these points of interest. This is, in this case, Peckasaw Pit. There's a photo and a little description of what's at that point. Um, you can go to a parking sign, parking here at Terrace Bay Beach, for example, and it tells you, gives you the GPS coordinates for that point as well as a description. So you can find that point easily. And so these maps on the website are most useful for planning a trip, from the comfort of your home. Um, all this information is also on the app, that access code, which I was speaking about previously. So to do that, you need to open the On-the-Go app. If you haven't already loaded it on your smartphone, then you would do it first, and then click on the settings menu up in the corner. And actually, I think I can enhance my cursor here a little bit. So under settings, you choose advanced settings. And then under that, access codes. When you click on access codes, you'll see a little three-dot menu up in the corner. Tap on that, and you'll be able to type in your passcode or access code there, and then click Add. And it will appear then on the list of access codes. And from there, you'll be able to see all of the trail section maps. So there are currently 8 individual maps. In April, we're going to be adding a 9th one for Thunder Bay. So then you close those settings, and you'll go to, or let's say you've closed the app, you go in come back in at another time, you open it up, you'll see this welcome screen. This is information about On-the-Go, general information that you may see. You can skip that if you've already read it or don't want to read it. And when you do that, you'll see this screen. So you'll see the maps that uh, you have access to are under this section called Private Maps. So all of the Voyager trail maps will appear there. They'll also appear under Near You if you are in fact near the Voyager Trail when you're doing this. And in order to find a specific map that you're looking for, so let's say you wanted the Michipicoten map, you could click on hiking and it'll and then, well, you don't have to click on hiking, but that's all of our maps will show up under 3 categories, is what I should say: hiking, snowshoeing, or cross country skiing, or backcountry skiing, I think it's called in the app. Uh, So you'll see that so the next thing, another way to find a map is to go to the search icon at the bottom here and just type in the first few words of Voyager, first few letters of Voyager, and all of our maps there will appear, and you can just select one of those from that list. So once you've got the maps, you find the map you want, just click on it. It'll open up. And if it's the first time you're doing this, you'll be asked to download it. Once you download it, it's then available to use offline. So you can take it on the trail. Doesn't matter if you have a cell signal or not. You'll be able to view the map. You'll be able to see your location where you are on the map. You'll be able to send trail reports. Um, so downloading is the first critical step. And then you'll also be able to review if you've kind of haven't done this for a while and you want to review how to use the app, you can go through this information under the information tab. Um, Otherwise, you're going to, well, yes, I'll mention as well, if the trail, if the, yeah, there are any changes to this map, the trails have changed in any way, um, there'll be an update request here. So you're best to update it whenever you see that, update it so you always have the current version of the map. Once you've done that, click on open. You'll see a little welcome screen here that gives you a little bit of background, but the critical thing here is the trail users code that our trail users are expected to follow. And you can tap off of that or just click on OK to get rid of that. And then you'll see this. This is a kind of a slide out that comes out from the left side of the screen with a group of drop-down menus. You can click on any of these and you'll get quite a bit of information that's in here that again you might want to review not when you're on the trail, but before you head out perhaps. Um, It'll give you a description of that trail in general and a lot of other information about parking and the trail classification system. You can read about the history of the trail and so on. When you're finished reading that particular information on the or any information on that slide out, you can tap here to close that. And then you will see the map itself. If you do ever want to refer back to that slide out information, those menus, just tap on this little icon down in the bottom corner and it'll open up again. So I'll point out a few things here about using the map. So this is a zoomed out part of this particular trail. This is the Harmony Stokely Trail. And where I've circled here, there are three trails coming together. The yellow is the loop trail, the blue is a spur trail or side trail, and the red is the main trail. So zooming in at that point will show you a lot more detail about that intersection of those three trails. You'll see the 2.6 kilometers here is the end, tells you that's the end of the loop trail, the Tear Lake Loop Trail in this case. The 4.0, which is in brown, the distance icon, is the end of the
Recording it,
access
taking it
trail
back.
coming up from Haviland Bay. And then the distances here, 5.9, 6.1 in blue are the distance from the beginning of the Harmony Stokely section. So you can get an idea of if you wanted to hike up to this point from Haviland and then continue to the start of this trail, you'd be hiking another 5.9 kilometers to the start. And there are a number of there's trail intersection icons here. You can tap on those. When you tap on it at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that the main trail meets the loop trail, Tear Lake Loop Trail. You can tap on the I here, the info, and it'll bring up another screen that'll might include a picture or two and some other information about that particular trail, how long it is, where it comes from, and so on, just to make it a little, give you some more confidence when you're on the trail. When you're finished reading that information, just close that. And then if you wanted to just to read about or get some information about the trail itself, you can either tap on the trail line, so that yellow line, it turns pink when you tap on it, or you can tap on the label here. Either way will get you to the same place. Tear Lake Loop shows up at the bottom of the screen. You've got an eye there, tap on that, and it'll give you information about that particular trail, the blazing system, elevation chart, more information about how long it will take to walk it, the length of the trail, hazards along the trail, parking, suggested routes. When you've read all of that, you can close it and you've pretty well got most of the information there. I'll give you a couple of more examples here. This is from the Cascade Trail, the Mount Gwyn Lookout. So there are two points of interest here at right beside one another. And when that happens, if you tap on one, at the bottom of the screen, it'll come up one of two. So you just hit that arrow if you want to see the second one. And it comes up that two of two, it's the VTA plaque at the Mount Gwyn Lookout. And you can again hit the info and it'll come up, in this case with a photo and a description of when that plaque was installed and why. The other thing I'll mention is on the trail labels, there's an icon here, a green circle for easy, a blue square for moderate, and a black diamond for difficult, or double black diamond. So that trail rating system is in that slide out from that's in the on the left side of the screen that I mentioned, and there's a description of it here. And if you want to actually read more about the classification system, you can choose this URL. Just tap on that, and it'll come up to a web page with the description, or a PDF file actually, with a description of each of the difficulty ratings and the different color codes. So all of that up to this point that I've shown you in the app, you can do that without being on the trail. You don't need to be out there. All of that information is available sitting in the comfort of your home if you're planning a trip. Um, but now I'm going to jump to a feature that you can only use when you're on the trail. So on the trail, you'll see a blue dot. When you're on the trail, you'll see this blue dot will appear at your location. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the latitude and longitude coordinates for your location. So one little tip I often mention to people is, if you want to, if this point is, let's say you've seen, I don't know, so a moose has bedded down on the trail at that point, and you wanted to mark that maybe for future reference, you wanted to save those coordinates. Rather than having to write them down, you could just take a screenshot of that, and then you'll have access to those coordinates at another time when you're on the trail. Um, so another way to, if for some reason you're not seeing your blue dot or you're not sure exactly where it is, another way to get to that is by tapping the arrow down in the bottom right corner of the screen. and that will show you your location on the trail as well. Okay, now I want to show you a couple of things that are in the settings menu when you have a map open. One of them is report a trail problem. So this is a feature that allows you to, let's say you found a tree that's fallen on the trail. Well, you just open, go to report a trail problem, click on that box there that says either large tree or small tree on the trail, and go select, and it'll open up another screen that allows you to submit a report about that particular problem. Most of the entries in here are put in by drop down menu, like priority, low, medium, or high. That's a drop down menu. But you can also add some text here, a little more information about what the problem is, and if there was a mishap or incident on the trail, you can describe that down here. When you've done that, you tap on save, click on save, and it will save that point, even if you do not have cell coverage. So that's an important thing to mention. Um, it will save it in memory until you get out to a point where you have cell coverage. Or let's say you've turned your phone on airplane mode, you're trying to conserve battery. When you turn it off, airplane mode, immediately it will save it. It will send that, and it will go to three of the club administrators who will then make sure that that problem is acted upon. And on your map, after you submit a report, you'll be able to see the location of that with this yellow symbol here with an exclamation mark in it. And you can tap on the info at the bottom, and it'll open up that report that you submitted. So you'll be able to refer back to it if you ever wanted to. And it will stay on your map until one of the administrators has dealt with it, and then it would be deleted. One other feature I'll point out, again from the settings menu, it's under My Profile. So you can open this up, and there's quite a few items here. But I'll draw your attention to My Messages. So here you would see any terrain reports, they're called, or trail problems that you've reported on. You'll be able to refer to those, and any messages that have been sent out through the app. So, for example, this is from last winter. The trail was closed near Peter Lake, um, which is in the Echo Ridges section. So that message appears there, and you'll have access to that, um, and always be able to see those. Those messages, so the ones with the little inbox symbols, those actually will come to you as an app user. You'll receive those messages as well, a notification for those messages, as long as you have turned on your notification settings and you would do that. Go to your phone settings and confirm that you've allowed all on-to-go notifications for the app. So you'd select the app first, and then make sure that this feature is turned on so that you'd be able to see those notifications.